Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. And today, I just wanted to make a quick little video. We are going to talk a little bit about the NCAA Tournament, and in particular, my picks for the Sweet 16, the Elite 8 Final Four, and who I think is going to be the national champion of this tournament. Let's get started. First off, West Region. We got Gonzaga, Creighton, and then USC and Oregon. Now, Gonzaga and Creighton, I think Gonzaga wins this one. Creighton hadn't impressed me too much, and again, Gonzaga, best team all year, undefeated, win this one pretty easily. Now they will face the winner of USC and Oregon, who I think will be Oregon. Because if you go back to Oregon's game against Iowa, they had 4 of their starters all scored in double figures. 2 of them scored 20 plus, and the other 2 almost got 20 plus points. That's a little ridiculous. So I think with all that being said, and the fact that USC has played 2 more games in this tournament than Oregon has, I think Oregon wins here and go on to face Gonzaga for the West Regional Final. Now let's move over to the right side of the bracket here to the South Region. Now I think we got Baylor and Villanova versus Arkansas and Oral Roberts. The winners of those games will face each other. Sorry for messing that up. Baylor, Villanova. I think Baylor wins this one. Again, Villanova has not been super impressive in the tournament. They've played a 12 and a 13 seed. Yes, they won, but they're still without their starting point guard, which may have been fine for those 2 games against 2 smaller schools, but I think that'll come back to haunt them against Baylor. I think Baylor is going to win this one actually pretty easily and go on to the Elite 8 to face the winner of Arkansas and Oral Roberts. Now, Oral Roberts is the second ever 15 seed to reach the Sweet 16. The last team to do it was Florida Gulf Coast in 2013. Now, Florida Gulf Coast lost in the Sweet 16, but I think Oral Roberts changes that momentum. And we have our first Elite 8 15 seed ever when they beat Arkansas to move on. Now, why do I think they can beat Arkansas? Because while Arkansas did beat Colgate by 17, they were down about 15 points at one point in the first half to Colgate. And then Texas Tech and Arkansas, well, Texas Tech just missed an easy layup. They could have won that game. They just missed an easy layup. So I'm picking Oral Roberts to win this one and move on to face Baylor in the Elite 8. Now we got the East region. Michigan versus Florida State and UCLA versus Alabama. Now, Michigan and Florida State is an interesting matchup because while, yes, Michigan is still down Isaiah Livers, I think there's a reason they're a 1 seed. There's a reason they've been playing well. I think Michigan survives Florida State in a close one and goes on to the Elite 8 to face Alabama. Now, I'm not going to talk much about UCLA and Alabama. Alabama's going to win here. UCLA has already played 3 games in this tournament. Alabama's only played 2. And Alabama's just a better team overall. They really are. Alabama goes on to face Michigan in the Elite 8. And that just leaves this monstrosity that is the Midwest region. We have Loyola Chicago facing Oregon State and Syracuse facing Houston. First matchup, Loyola Chicago and Oregon State. I think Loyola wins here. Oregon State, yes, they've been playing well. They've been on a great Cinderella run. I think it ends here, though. Loyola's just too good, too complete. They've been playing incredible basketball. Loyola Chicago goes on to the Elite 8 to face the winner of Syracuse-Houston, which, in my opinion, is going to be Syracuse. Reason being, Syracuse has been getting hot when the time is right. They've been playing great basketball in the tournament. Houston barely beat Rutgers. I think Syracuse continues to win here. Buddy Boeheim leads Syracuse to the Elite 8. They know how to play in March. Jim Boeheim knows how to get his team ready in March. It continues here. Syracuse going to the Elite 8 to face Loyola Chicago. And that's everybody for the Sweet 16. Now, let's talk about the Elite 8 and the Final Four. Those things are really interesting. Out of the West Regional Final, we got Gonzaga and Oregon. I'm predicting to be in the final. Now, I think Gonzaga pulls it out here. They're undefeated. They're number 1 for a reason. They win in the Elite 8, go on to face whoever is in the Final Four. We'll talk about that in a minute. Out of the South region, Baylor and Oral Roberts. Well, yes, Oral Roberts had an incredible run. They're getting all the way to the Elite 8. I'm calling it right now. They're not beating Baylor. Baylor against Oral Roberts. Baylor's going to win. They're going to win big, and they're going to go on to the Final Four. So we got two teams in the Final Four, two number 1 seeds in the Final Four, Gonzaga and Baylor. Now we got Michigan and Alabama. Will we have a third number 1 seed in the Final Four? Spoiler alert, no, we won't. Alabama is going to beat Michigan because, well, yes, Isaiah Livers being out hasn't hurt Michigan all that much yet. It will here. Alabama is much more complete than Michigan is without Livers. Alabama wins here, goes to the Final Four. And finally, Loyola Chicago and Syracuse. One of these teams has to go to the Final Four. Who's it going to be? Syracuse has been playing well. Loyola's been playing well. This is a toss-up. It really, really is. But I got to put Loyola Chicago in there, man. They've been playing so well. Complete team, great basketball. They beat Illinois big time. Loyola Chicago gets their spot in the Final Four. Back to the Final Four for the first time in 3 years. Or the second time in 3 years, I should say. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We got Gonzaga versus Alabama in the Final Four and Baylor versus Loyola Chicago. Now, as for Gonzaga and Alabama, it could be good. It's going to be a great game. It's obviously going to be a great game. I got to put Gonzaga in there again because Gonzaga, the best team, the most complete. They got the most weapons. Alabama can score a lot, but so can Gonzaga. And Gonzaga's going to win here. They're going on to the national championship to face Baylor, Loyola Chicago. I think, I'm calling it right now, Loyola Chicago beats Baylor, goes to the national championship, faces Gonzaga for an opportunity at the NCAA National Championship. So, ladies and gentlemen, April 5th, Indianapolis is going to be Gonzaga, Loyola Chicago. My predictions. Don't forget, this is not what's actually going to happen necessarily, just my prediction. But, ladies and gentlemen, your national champion for 2021. For the first time since 1976's Indiana Hoosiers, we have our first undefeated national champion. The Gonzaga Bulldogs. Just a bit too much for Loyola. They are your new national champions. Gonzaga, best team all year, best team in the tournament. It's not by far. Like, every other team is a tier right here. Gonzaga, just way up here. They can't be touched. I'm sorry, they can't. Gonzaga's going to win. I know it's kind of the boring answer. Like, Loyola would be great, but I don't think they quite have enough to beat Gonzaga. It's going to be a great game, classic game, but Gonzaga is your national champion, in my opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to watch the rest of this tournament. I hope you guys are too. Let me know down in the comments below what games you think are going to be the best, what teams are going to make the Final Four, what major upsets we're going to see the rest of the way. But yeah, that's it for now, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an honor to talk about this with you guys. Go Gonzaga. Hopefully they win. I picked them in my original bracket to win for the whole thing, so I'm hoping that continues. But yeah, see you guys at the end of the national championship. We'll talk about the game. After the championship's over, we'll talk about who won, talk about the rest of the bracket. Review this tournament. It's been an incredibly amazing tournament so far. Super exciting. Lots of upsets. Who knows? Gonzaga could lose. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's it for now, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great night. Peace out.